One phone call. A trembling voice in the dark. A teenager fighting to stay calm, whispering into the receiver as danger closes in. What you're about to hear is real, documented in transcripts and memories that still unsettle investigators today. A night like any other, until the line connected. 911, what is your emergency? Silence first. Then the faintest breath, the voice of a young girl. Someone's outside. From that moment on, every second mattered. Every word carried weight. It was late. Suburban streets empty. Houses asleep. The kind of stillness that hides everything. Inside one home, a teenager sat alone, expecting nothing more than a quiet night. No music, no TV, just the hum of the refrigerator and the ticking clock. Until the sound came, faint, deliberate, from outside the window. She froze, heartbeat pounding. The phone felt heavy in her hand. And then a decision that would etch her voice forever into 911 history. A line clicked. 911, what's your emergency? For a moment, only shallow breathing filled the silence. Then her fragile voice. Hello? I think someone's out there. The dispatcher's tone, steady, practiced. Stay calm. Tell me your name. A pause. Then, Emily. The officer leaned closer to the screen, typing quickly. All right, Emily. I'm here with you. Tell me exactly what you see. Her reply was barely a whisper. A shadow. Emily wasn't supposed to be alone. Her parents had stepped out briefly, expecting to return before dark. She was responsible, quiet, the kind of teen no one worried about. But that night was different. She told the dispatcher, I heard something, just now, like footsteps. The operator's voice remained steady. You did the right thing calling. Lock the doors. Stay on the line with me. The ordinary world was already slipping into something unrecognizable. On the call, her breath caught suddenly. Wait, I saw it again, at the window. The dispatcher leaned forward. Stay away from the window. Can you move somewhere safe? A long silence. Then the faint creak of floorboards as Emily whispered, I'm moving to my room. The sound of a lock clicking echoed faintly over the line. She tried to keep her voice steady, but the tremble broke through. What if they get in? The dispatcher kept his voice steady, calm, anchoring her. Emily, listen to me. You're not alone. I'm with you. Officers are on their way. She nodded silently, though he couldn't see it. Her breathing slowed for a moment. Then, a faint tap, tap, tap against the glass. She gasped, covering the phone with her hand as if hiding. The silence stretched, broken only by the creak of wood outside her room. Finally, in a trembling whisper, they're still out there. The dispatcher's tone sharpened, though still calm. Emily, can you see them clearly? Her voice shook. Just a shadow. It moved past the window, slow. She swallowed hard, the sound loud in the receiver. It stopped. A rustle came through the phone, not from Emily, but faint, distant, outside her walls. The operator typed faster, signaling urgency to units nearby. Emily, stay low, stay quiet. Help is coming. Do not hang up. Another breath. I'm scared. Emily sat on the floor, knees pulled close, clutching the phone like it was life itself. Then, A sound froze her blood. Knock, knock, knock. 3 slow taps at the front door. Her whisper cracked through the line. They're at the door. The dispatcher leaned into his mic, firm but calm. Don't move. Don't answer. Officers are minutes away. Another knock, heavier this time. Then silence. Emily pressed her hand over her mouth, holding back a sob. The house felt smaller, darker, every shadow alive. The silence stretched until a new sound slipped through the door. A low voice, muffled but clear enough to twist her stomach. I know you're in there. Emily's grip tightened on the phone, breath shaking against the receiver. He's talking, she whispered. The dispatcher's tone quickened. Stay away from the door. Emily, do not respond. But the voice came again, closer, angrier. Open up, or I'll come in myself. Her heart pounded so loud it filled the line. Emily's whisper trembled. He's trying the handle. A metallic rattle echoed faintly through the phone. The dispatcher's voice grew firm, urgent. Emily, stay in your room. Keep that door locked. Officers are almost there. The sound of the front door lock straining filled the silence. A pause, then a sudden thud against the wood. Emily gasped, tears breaking through her words. He's pushing it. The dispatcher raised his tone. Hold on, Emily. Just hold on. The pounding at the door stopped. Emily held her breath, praying it was over. Then new sounds. Floorboards creaking. Slow, deliberate steps. Upstairs. Her whisper cracked. He's inside. The dispatcher stiffened, voice sharper now. Emily, lock your room. Stay as quiet as you can. Do not make a sound. Emily's shaky breathing filled the line as she pressed herself against the door. Creak, creak. The footsteps were closer, moving down the hallway toward her room. The footsteps stopped right outside her room. Emily covered the phone with her hand, but the dispatcher still caught the faint sound of her breath. A pause hung heavy, then the soft scrape of fingers against her door. Emily! The voice, low and drawn out, sent her trembling. She mouthed the word no to herself, holding back a sob. The dispatcher's tone hardened. Emily, stay silent. Units are seconds away. Do not move. The handle rattled once, then again, harder. The rattling turned violent. Bang! The door shook in its frame. Emily flinched, whispering into the phone. He's trying to break in. The dispatcher's voice was low, commanding. Emily, listen to me. Stay against the far wall. Stay low. Help is outside. Another slam. The wood splintered faintly. Emily's breath quickened into sobs. Please hurry, she begged. On the other end, the operator relayed, voice tight. Units, forced entry, second floor bedroom. Move now. Through her tears, Emily suddenly caught a faint sound in the distance. Sirens. She pressed the phone to her ear, whispering desperately. I hear them. I hear them. The dispatcher's voice steadied. That's them, Emily. They're almost there. Just hold on. Another slam against the door shook the frame, but she clung to the sound of rescue growing closer. The intruder's heavy breaths pressed against the wood. Sirens wailed louder, cutting through the darkness, promising she wasn't alone. The door cracked loudly, wood splintering. Emily let out a stifled cry, gripping the phone so tightly her knuckles whitened. "He's almost in," she whispered. The dispatcher's tone sharpened. "Emily, stay away from the door. Officers are seconds away." Another crash. Her dresser trembled against the wall. Then a sudden noise outside. Boots hitting the porch. Voices shouting commands. The intruder froze. For a moment, silence. Then the sound of hurried footsteps, retreating, moving back down the hall. Emily pressed herself against the wall, shaking, whispering, "I think they're here." The dispatcher's voice was calm, steady. "Yes, Emily. Officers are in the house. Stay where you are. They're coming to get you." Footsteps echoed. Different this time. Authoritative. Organized. Voices called out commands. Emily's heartbeat thundered, but she whispered back, "I can hear them. They're real." A shadow moved across the hallway, but it was no longer the intruder. She exhaled slowly, almost disbelief, as the sound of help finally reached her ears. The officers reached her room. Emily whispered, voice trembling, "They're here! They found me!" The dispatcher reassured her. "Yes, Emily, you're safe now. Breathe, you're not alone." She sank to the floor, gripping the phone. Outside, the chaos of the intruder being restrained played faintly in the background. Commands shouted, shoes on wood, heavy doors closing. Emily's sobs softened, relief mixed with lingering fear. The night was over, but the echo of every second she spent hiding would stay with her forever. The dispatcher stayed on the line as officers secured the house. Emily whispered, "It's quiet now." The operator guided her through calming breaths. Later, authorities would confirm the intruder had been hiding in the garage, waiting. Emily's quick thinking and 911 call had saved herself and potentially her siblings. The dispatcher explained, even seconds matter. Reporting details clearly, staying calm, and following instructions can make the difference between life and death. The audience realizes the value, preparedness, awareness, courage. Emily was safe, but the echoes of that night lingered. The house, once ordinary, now held shadows in every corner of memory. The dispatcher's calm voice faded, but the lesson remained. Courage under fear, clarity under panic, seconds that can save lives. "I'm okay now," she whispered, still trembling. Outside, the night returned to silence, but for viewers, the story leaves a lingering chill, a reminder that danger can strike anywhere, and bravery can turn the tide. Some stories end with answers, some with questions. Emily's 911 call reminds us how fragile safety can be, and how courage can change everything in a single moment. Every breath, every whispered word mattered. For viewers, it's a chilling reminder. Stay aware, trust your instincts, and never underestimate the power of action under fear. The story fades, but the tension, the lessons, and the suspense remain, echoing long after the line goes silent.